Oh! How are we doing out there, ladies and gents? What is good? Happy Monday to you guys. Hope you had an awesome weekend. This is the BCS After Hours, baby. This is the fellas After Hours, just chopping up a little sports talk here and there. What is going on in the world in today's sports? And of course, we got the crew in here. First and foremost, guys, as we do these, I just want to know how you feeling. How was your weekend? And what are you feeling for tonight's show? But of course, we got Sach, man. North Glenn's finest, baby. Sach, how we feeling?
Feeling like we got a lot of stuff to get off of our chests. Whit is not going to make the show tonight, but he had a lot of stuff to say, and we'll get into that eventually. The where's Whit? He is moving, so we got to give him some leeway. He is moving.
Yeah.
He's going through a lot of stress, got a lot of shit on his mind, but no, it's good to be here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things happening in the sports world. So it's good to see you boys, and good to happy to see what we got to say.
And of course, there you go, Sach, man. And of course, ladies and gents, we got the Teflon Don, the money man himself. He's always here to give us what he got. Big E in the house. E, how are we feeling?
Man, feeling good. Feeling good. Missing Whit. Good luck. I know he's moving, so good luck to Whit. He's packing, moving. And we got a good show today. Got a lot of stuff to cover down on. Got some finals coming up finally. Man, it seems this shit reminds me of college football national title game. It was like a month off before they play. That's what this NBA finals seems like. It's been forever. But a couple more days will get it going.
100%. Yeah, ladies and gents, let us know what you're feeling in the chat. I see some viewers and listeners already logged in and everything. Throw a comment our way, throw a question. We'll get the ball rolling. We'll start the conversation. Of course, we'll give you a shout out on the show, but this is the Bet Champ show, ladies and gents, After Hours, and we are off and rolling. Last Sach. That's all right. That's all right. There was two of us. E kind of wanted a first question to kind of wrap around, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this with everything. So the question I have for everyone really is, how are we feeling with the WNBA so far? New movement coming, new growth and whatnot. And then also question number 2, what do we think with Caitlyn Clark and all the controversy that kind of surrounds her right now in that league?
Who's up?
Sach, you want to take it?
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Caitlyn Clark, she's obviously the main focus on the WNBA. Over the past couple of days, she's been pretty much abused in a lot of these games. And when I say that, it's not that she can't take it. It's not like that she's not a tough girl. It's not that she's like really bitching about it. But at the end of the day, a lot of these girls do not want to see her have as much media attention as she's getting. And ZJ, me and you were talking about it a couple, before the show. When someone new is coming into something that you've been in, a lot of people do not want you to get the shine as you are. So Caitlyn Clark, when she's going into the WNBA, a lot of these girls are going to be like, we're going to see what she's about. We're going to see all this hype. Anytime you do something with Caitlyn Clark, anytime you do play a game with her, you're going to be put on ESPN. You're going to be put on SportsCenter. All that stuff's going to happen. And I don't really think it's a bad thing that it's happening. A lot of girls just want to test her, and they just want to get under her skin. So, it's good for the game. She's a girl that has obviously, even E was saying it earlier in today, it's not that it's just some random girl that they pick. It's the girl that has the most points in college basketball history. She has the most hype, pretty much more than ever for a WNBA player. And I don't really see anything wrong with what the Chennedy girl did to her. I think it's more of, when you're looking at the Indiana Fever, where the fuck are her teammates? Every time I'm watching that thing, it's where are the teammates at? Why is no one even going up to that girl and checking her? Why is no one getting in any scuffles with any of these other girls? It's really bizarre to see, and I think even some of her teammates are jealous of her. But at the end of the day, she'll be fine. She's gonna, she's not having the best season. She's not having the season that we all thought she would. But it's really interesting to see how a lot of the media outlets are starting to talk about her. They're starting to talk about the girls that have done stuff to her, and I'm just really disappointed in her team. I'm really disappointed in the Indiana Fever. They're at the bottom of the league, and they don't have one girl sticking up for her. They don't have anyone sticking up for her when she gets hit like that. And could you imagine if any of those, if this was the NBA, could you imagine anyone doing that to Jokic? Could you imagine anyone doing that to Steph Curry, to LeBron? No,
That'd be
nobody's
crazy,
doing
yeah.
that to them without someone going up and fucking popping them in the mouth. So that's what I'm really looking at. When you look at how she's getting treated, and I mean, I don't know what to think. I think she's going to be all right, but at the end of the day, it's it's a lot of jealousy going around. It's a lot of jealousy, and everyone wants a piece of the pie, but also Caitlyn Clark is the reason, and almost is the sole reason, that a lot of people are watching the WNBA. But it's a good rookie class, so I don't really know what to think about it. It's really interesting. You can go 10 different ways when you talk about it. So
yeah, that's good. I mean, all good points, especially about the teammates. Like I was telling you guys earlier today, I don't even mind when some of the media, they try to put a racial component to it. But when you leave out the point that she is the leading scorer in NCAA history, men and women, that's a pretty big nugget of why she gets attention, why somebody else isn't getting what she is getting, because she's coming in being the only one. She's one of one in that sport, in at least in collegiate sport now, level up. Agree with you too. I think people are testing her, right? You're coming into our house now. It's a new league, bigger league. But the thing I think even more so is I think WNBA is loving this. I do. Look at all the marketing they're getting for free. It's on all the talk shows. You have a week off between NBA finals, right? Stanley Cups maybe kicking a little bit, but that can be considered a summer fringe sport. I mean, we're a hockey state, but it's not as popular as, say, the other big three. Baseball slugging along. Man, this is your window. WNBA is soaking this up because they could just as easily start sending messages out, finding players, finding teams. No, because controversy brings the talks, right? They're on Stephen A. They're on FS1. They're on everybody's shows. We're talking about them. It's the WNBA. So I think WNBA is the winner in all this. And controversy brings eyes. There's some people who are watching the shows and they're like, you know what? I want to see what this is all about. And you're building future rivalries, right? That'll last. Her and Angela Reese. I mean, these things are going to last throughout their careers. So I think partially too is the NBA's feeling. Did I mess up the name? What I do?
Angela Reese.
What's her name?
Angel Reese.
It's all right. It's all right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know their names. But now I'm getting involved, right? It's like you look above me. It's like WWE. That the storylines are building here, and it's bringing people in. I think they like it. I do, because they could snuff it out just as fast. Hey, tell the officials, let's watch what we're doing here. We need to call a tighter game. Again, you could send memos out to the teams. Hey, stop talking about this. None of that's going on. It's churches, and they're just letting them brawl. So it's not even brawls, right? It's a tough check. Yeah, she got hip checked.
At the end of the day, it's just a fuck. Yeah. It's just a hit. She just got hit. Yeah, it's not like she got fucking elbowed in the face. It's not like she got punched. It's not like any of that has happened.
Karl Malone, Isaiah Thomas, elbow to the forehead.
And I mean, And also, at the end of the day, would you rather have it? Sorry to interrupt you, but would you rather have it be where everyone fucking caters to Caitlyn Clark, or would you rather have it like this, where they're kind of testing her? I mean, I think any competitor, anyone, like when you look at the Jordan, when you look at the LeBron, like you want to see these people get tested, and it's only going to make the story better at the end of the day. So, I mean, I think it's good marketing, just like you said.
I think NBA's ruling, and then, man, I don't know what's going on with her team. I can't explain that. The only time you really see that is like in the NFL. You see it in the NFL when the offense doesn't believe in their quarterback. right? And you see the lineman not helping the quarterback back up. That's
when
when
they get
you brought
when they
that
get a
up.
late hit. When they get a late hit, how does that offensive line react to them? Exactly.
Look at what happens when somebody puts their hands on Mahomes, on Burrows. Them linemen, they'll take the 15-yard penalty. Here it's like she's getting up on herself, the half-hatted. Some of her teammates are smirking. Yeah, they got to fix that. You've been the worst team 2 years in a row, looking to get the third number one again. You got to change the culture down there. What was the Bulls documentary, right? When Jordan first got to the Bulls, and it was like the cocaine Bulls, and they were just perennial losers. They got to change it down there. They got to change the attitude. She can play. At the end of the day, she's a baller. She can play. So, yeah, Draymond Green said today, you got to get some goon to protect her. But other than that, that's really awkward. Our coaches are speaking up. Come on. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, even being her, like, going into the locker room after she gets hit like that, like, wouldn't you be looking at your friends like, yo, what the fuck? Like, none of you guys are going to do anything? Like, nothing?
Right.
It's weird.
Guys, shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Guys, we are here. This is the Bet Show After Hours. You got the fellas in the house. We love chopping it up, talking sports with you guys. Remember, send a comment or a question in the little chat bar right there. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll put the question on the show, and we'll talk about it. Going back to with the WNBA in general, though, with kind of where it's going and everything, and to exactly what he said, I mean, this is marketing everywhere. I mean, we got to think like last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, when was the WNBA ever on these big talk shows? McAfee, like First Take with everyone. You never heard about it unless it was the championship and they talked about who won the championship game and everything. You never heard in-season stuff about the WNBA. Now it is just a huge light on everything, which I think is pretty awesome. It's a new thing coming. You're getting new people into it, and you're getting fans, already fans of sports. Now, new viewership from those sports fans coming in, and everyone seems to be interested. And to what he said too, I mean, right now you have the NHL Stanley Cup. That's going to be coming to an end here shortly, as well as the NBA Finals. That's all going to be over. And there's going to be no sports on really besides baseball. The WNBA is going to get a lot of viewership because of that, because people miss sports. People love sports and everything. And now with all this word and everything, there's going to be so much eyes on it. And I think that's awesome. I think it's cool. Me and like Sach and I were talking, we're like, this is sick to just be able to watch now, even bet on it and everything with all the controversy going on. I think it's great for sports in general and the world and whatnot. Going into the Caitlyn Clark thing, though, what we're talking about and to what you guys kind of pretty much nailed, this girl was coming into the league with a lot of hype around her, a lot of great hype. She can hoop. She's a baller, #1 in college, and she was the #1 overall draft pick. With that, you're going to have older players or players currently in the WNBA that want to get theirs. They think they've earned it too. They deserve more. And what I was telling Sach, you got to think about now, it's also a new opportunity with so much viewership coming on the WNBA. Now, if you're another player, you can really get your name out there. And what is one way to get your name out there? To get inside the #1 overall draft pick's head, get some screen time, something like that going, and I think that's what a lot of these girls are going to do. They're going to want to try to D her up, get physical with her and everything. They know that eyes are on this now. They're going to want to make a name for themselves. And I think with Caitlyn Clark, and this is why she's going to be so great, even moving into the future in general. I think she already realizes that all of this is happening, and she realizes that everyone's pretty much going to be physical with her. And I think that's just going to make her even better, because it's going to make her adjust her game and be even stronger. Because you see her press conference and everything. She knows girls are coming at her. She's telling you firsthand, like, this is going to happen. And I love that, because she's recognizing it and everything. And it's only going to make her better, like I said. To what Sach said with the hit and everything. Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to take it. You got to get up and whatnot. And you got to expect for it to come. But to what he was too, if you're the Indiana Fever and you're on her team, to what you guys were saying, I mean, you got to be embarrassed for your team, your organization, that you didn't do anything about that. You watch any other sport, and I'm not just trying to diversify men and women's. I'm talking any sport, and a teammate like that gets hit or something like that. I mean, the whole team is surrounding that person, making sure they're good, but making sure the other team knows, hey, if you do that again, we're going to clock the hell out of you and everything. And her team was just nowhere to be found in that moment. I think now with all the controversy going around, maybe some things will change. But yeah, if you're the Indiana Fever, if you're the organization in general, you need to be looking around the league going, hey, we got a number one girl in the WNBA. Who else could we bring in here that we know is a bruiser and can protect this girl and run the thing we want to run for the world to see and whatnot? So it's interesting, guys. It really is. But like E said too, new rivalries are going to form, which is going to be awesome, if you get in early and you're able to watch all of this, because it's happening right in front of our eyes. And you got to just jump in the seat and watch. But that's the beauty of it. I really do. You guys. Yeah, go ahead, Saj.
Like even going off of all of that, like at the end of the day, Caitlyn Clark, she can defend herself. She knows how to do all of that. You don't become the best college basketball player as a white girl in that situation with not having a little dog in you. Like, there's no way you grow up and you don't know that you're already behind the 8 ball with how people are going to treat you. In basketball, football, they're mainly dominated by African Americans. So when you go into that situation, like a lot of these people, and I'm not trying to make it like a race thing, but at the end of the day, you're going to be going up against people that are going to fucking test you just based off of your skin color alone. And this has nothing to do with any politics outside of just basketball. That's all I'm saying. When you're Caitlyn Clark and you're a white girl going into a African-American dominant league like that, they really want to see like what you're made of. And she's already proven it in the college basketball. She's the number one scorer in NCAA history. So when she's going in there, it's literally just human nature to just test someone. It's human nature to test anyone in that situation. So I think she's going to be fine. But at the end of the day, you do got to have someone on your team that's going to fucking check someone eventually. And it should be her. I would have rather honestly seen her get up and just fucking push the girl, get ejected, do whatever you got to do. Because money is not an issue to her. She's already making more money off of probably what NIL, what she did in college, or even like her sponsorships outside of it. I think it would have been better for her to just do it herself. But yeah, like you said, her team should be embarrassed. When someone does that to your star player, you got to do something. And it's not like the Fever are some team where they can be like, oh, this new girl's coming into our organization. Like, no, you guys have been the worst team for the past 2 years. Something there has got to change. And honestly, I even think that it might have been better for whatever girl would have done it to stick up for her and save your time in the league. Like, if you're not a productive WNBA player in that situation, you would have been better and like more loved if you would have just stuck up for her. So, it's really bizarre. That's all I gotta say. It's really, really weird because nobody would have done that to a lot of people who are the number one pick like that.
And to Clark's credit, she's not the one that's complaining. It's the media.
Yeah, she's really not.
She's not going to the press conference saying, "Hey, I'm getting my ass kicked here, man. I'm getting beat up every night. These refs got to call." She's not doing that. Everyone else is, but it's not her. She's just taking her lumps, and I'm gonna prove it to you on the court. So, I think she's playing it right. And again, the WNBA is just setting this thing up. They got about 4 days left. And the girl that checked her, again, it wasn't that bad of a thing, but that's Reese's teammate. They were playing Chicago. Even her teammates are backing Reese in that rivalry. Sach's point, man, where's my bench? Where's my players? I got nobody here. And I get it to the point too. a lot of jealousy. She did have, I don't know if it was 10-year, but she's got an Adidas deal where they're even going to come up with her own shoe. I mean, of course, people are jealous of that, right? It's like, yeah, I've been playing this league for 4 years. I've been playing even some of their Hall of Famers, right? They weren't getting this stuff. They were on charter planes last year. I mean, I'm sorry, they were on commercial planes last year. Now the team's flying charter because these TV deals and everything that's coming in with her coming in. People want to put eyes on her. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But, yeah, that team needs to change. Everyone but her be gone, to include the coach.
Yeah, you need to start, and it's like we said, it's so early right now to where, yes, this is all happening, but this is where you can make change. This is where you can form a new identity for your team and everything while you can and whatnot. But I love it, guys. I love what we're seeing. Going just again harping on what E was saying, which is what I love about this whole situation moving forward with the WNBA, is all these new rivalries are going to form, which is going to make the sport and the competitiveness even better for the WNBA. And it'll be a fun ride to watch, guys. So again, like I said, hop on now, see it now while you can and everything. You want to see the early stages of it because this thing's definitely going to start blowing up even more with all this stuff going on. But this is, again, guys, the Bet Champ Show after hours, baby. We got some couple live leaders in here. Throw some comments, throw some questions in the chat. We'll give you a shout out and get the ball rolling. For our next topic, I wanted to throw around to you guys and everything. Obviously, huge news out of the NFL today. Justin Jefferson signed a $140 million contract with $110 million guaranteed. He is the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history and the highest paid NFL non-quarterback player. What are we thinking of this? Obviously, a huge bag for Justin Jefferson, staying in Minnesota. Thoughts on this, guys?
Go ahead, E.
I was just going to say, get your money. There's maybe two. Here's the thing, right? And I was listening to another guy talk about this and how it's fans' views and then how, teams and leagues view it. And it's Mike Lombardi. He's on that VSiN gambling line. He used to be the GM for the Cleveland Browns and Oakland Raiders. He was talking about this. And he was saying, one, in like fans' world, our world, receivers are number one, right? They're the biggest thing. But in the league, they're not. That's just his view of it. You can replace people. Jefferson is one who's special. The two he brought up was Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. He said those guys are game changers. They'll put points on the board. It just so happens next up is Sach's guy, CeeDee Lamb. Will he get that bag? Who knows, because that's the going rate. But he's not a Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is a beast of his own, and he got his I mean, what are you going to do? He's right now it looks like he's going to have a rookie quarterback. He's really the face of the Vikings. So you have to do something. And you could pay him now while you have your quarterback on a rookie deal. But yeah, good for him, man. Go get your money. I think the next round of players you're going to see is where you have the problem with some of these like 1B or 2 type receivers making that money. And you're like, that's not who they are, but that's where the market is. And that's where it'll come in. But for Justin, good on him. And who else you have with Minnesota? Who else is out there? He has to do this. So you got to keep the fans in the seats. But what do you think, Sach?
I mean, yeah, basically all what you said. I mean, Justin Jefferson is in a league of his own. I saw a graphic today that Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, they've both been in the league for 4 years. They have honestly like the similar stats, but Jefferson has like 600 or 700 yards on him for their career. But I mean, CeeDee Lamb is not a Justin Jefferson. I think everyone can agree with that. Justin Jefferson and even Tyreek Hill, they're in a league of their own when it comes to playmaking and being wide receivers. But like CeeDee Lamb, his contract is coming up right now, and that's not good news for Cowboys fans because he's going to look at like what he got paid, and he's going to be like, look, we have similar stats, similar touchdowns. This is what I want to get paid. So I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be, obviously, he's worth the $30 million a year, and I would only maybe even pay him that. And I think just because he's on the Cowboys, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's not Justin Jefferson, he's not all this shit. But at the end of the day, wide receivers are the cream of the crop when you're looking at players, especially skill players. Running backs, I think, are diluted. You can fucking interchange people with a lot of rookie running backs that come into the league. They're really interchangeable, but like you said, good for him. Good for him. He got all of his money. He's gonna get that money for the rest of his career as long as he stays healthy. And CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 wide receiver in my opinion. When you look at the Cowboys, he is literally the sole offense of the Cowboys right now. When you look at the Cowboys, they don't have any running back. We don't have one running back, especially with Tony Pollard leaving. CeeDee Lamb is going to be he's going to be the best rusher, the best wide receiver, the best everything on that team besides Dak Prescott throwing in the football. But yeah, I mean, that's just the market as it is right now. And I think a lot of wide receivers are going to start to get paid. It sucks when it sucks when a wide receiver like that gets paid, because then it resets the whole market. It resets the whole market for any wide receiver that thinks they're number one, thinks they're whatever, this and that. But I would have rather had CeeDee Lamb get paid before Justin Jefferson, because now it's just going to even put a bigger hole in the Cowboys' pocket right now. Just from a fan perspective, but Jefferson is deserving of all of that money, because, like what you said, he's the sole face of the Vikings. Nobody on the Vikings, you wouldn't know anything about the Vikings if it wasn't worth Justin Jefferson right now, especially with Kirk Cousins out. So he's deserving of it all, like you said.
Yeah, and remember too, big picture, or I guess economics of the league. Every time they get that new $1 billion TV contract, the caps go up. Your cap space goes up. So there's more to spend on your players. And that's why you're seeing it. Like it went up again. You got a whole nother what do we have? Amazon. I think there's another carrier now that's going to be carrying the NFL games as well this year. And that's all $1 billion. And the player or the agreements there are like, hey, X amount goes with this to the cap space, so our players can be paid. So that's what the common fan. I'm glad you brought that up. That's what the common fan does not know. The common fan does not know, like, by year, everything's going to go up. Every TV deal is going to leave you more space. That's why when Mahomes, he signed that 10-year deal like 3 years ago for a $700 million, whatever it was. That was a team-friendly deal, because they knew once you sign them right then and there, everything is going to go – the market is going to skyrocket. Like Joe Burrow right now is the highest-paid quarterback in the league. Is he the best quarterback in the league? No. But when he signed that contract, that was the max amount of money that they could have done. So Patrick Mahomes signing all that money and doing all those extensions 3-4 years ago was a team-friendly deal, because they know that the market is gonna keep going up. So it doesn't mean year by year whoever's paid the most is the best. Like, they're gonna get their money eventually. It's just whenever their contract is up. And that's what a lot of agents do. They do the little 2-year, the 3-year deals, because then they can extend it, because they know they're going to get more money, like you said, with the TV deals going up like that. So that's what I want the common fan to know. Everything is going to go higher every year. Correct. And one of the indicators on that, on the TV deals and this and that, are obviously views, right? Eyes on games. So many people were clowning the Taylor Swift thing. The Super Bowl was the most viewed. The playoffs were the most viewed. And so this year, the league gets more money because more people are watching. Like, they're all getting paid out of it. But us, the common fans, are like, tired of seeing Taylor Swift. Man, she's on TV maybe a minute the whole game, right? But that's what it does. If she's going to bring in the Swifties, man, the players are like, more power to her. Because the more eyes you put on here, the more we get from the sponsors.
They like Taylor Swift. They want Taylor Swift.
The more we get to the program.
So, yeah, and to Sasha's point on a different leg, it's always good to pay early. It's never going to go down.
It's always
I
good
mean,
to
maybe
pay
there's a
long-term
downkeep, but it's
early.
always going to keep going up.
Long-term
So for the
early,
Cowboys side, it's like pay Dak. What are you doing? There's going to be another quarterback that's going to sneak in there and reset the bar again, where that could have been Dak, and then you're going to have to even give him more. That's the whole money game of this, you know, because I know you're a fan. It's Parsons, Lamb, and Dak. They're the three
that's the big
three big players that need to get paid this end of the season.
And I'm glad that you brought up.
Brandon Cook.
No, Brandon Cooks. He'll be tossed around, but we do got him for one more year. But I'm not
Zeke,
sure.
don't forget about Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke. I'm glad we got Zeke back. He'll be a goal line threat. He's always going to be good for that. He'll always be good for the 1-2 yard. Yeah. He's going to be good for that. And there's always a market for players like that can just do what they do at a high level. Zeke can block at a high level, and he can get the 1-2 yard carries at a high level, more than almost as good as anyone in the league. But going off to what you said, CJ Stroud, I'm not sure if anyone saw this. CJ Stroud gave his top 5 NFL QBs in the league. And who did he put in there? He put Dak Prescott in there. Because he knows what it is. He's saying Dak's one of the most accurate QBs in the league. And I'm a Cowboy fan that has suffered through 10, 15, 20 years of bullshit. And when you watch Dak Prescott play, he is one of the most accurate, on-time, smart QBs that you'll see in the league. People are so easily to be like, oh, we need to get rid of him. We're not winning. But at the end of the day, who the fuck are you going to go get? Like, there's not QBs that just grow on trees where you're just going to be like, oh, like my dad. My dad is a perfect example. He's like, we need to get rid of Dak. I'm like, who are you going to go get that's better than Dak? Who? Every quarterback that you want is already in a long-term contract. You're not going to really get anyone better. So, I mean, I love that CJ Stroud said that, because a lot of people, they don't look from like a QB perspective. They just look from a win-loss perspective. They look from, oh, he hasn't won a Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl argument, I think, is dead, because how many quarterbacks in the league right now have won a Super Bowl? There's only one a year. There's only one team that wins every year, and Mahomes has won pretty much every year. You want to look at Burrow, he's never won. You want to look at Jalen Hurts, he's never won. Lamar Jackson, 2 MVPs, he's never won. Quarterbacks are hard to come by, and a lot of people are, they take them for granted. And, I mean, it's going to be an interesting, next decade in the NFL on who really is the cream of the crop. So that's what I'm most excited looking forward to, because I'll defend Dak to the day I die. He's a good quarterback. He's solid. He's a good guy. He plays in Dallas. He does everything right. And I think he's been let down by his team most of the time, especially when Lamar Jackson, the MVP of the league, his defense held the team to fucking 13 points and he couldn't win. He held him to 13 points and they couldn't win. Dak Prescott's defense let up fucking 40 points and he couldn't win. See, this is the shit that gets me riled up. I don't even want to get going.
Yeah, we talk about Justin.
Hey, you see that? You see it? Hey, I like how we start the conversation out talking about the wide receiver who got paid the most, and you like how Sach had the shorn in CeeDee Lamb, and then somehow we got the Dak Prescott. Just in a whole. But anyway, to get back to the topic.
Passionate.
Obviously, to what
we're all saying. Leave.
Yeah, had to. Obviously, though, to what everyone's saying, I mean, Justin Jefferson, huge contract, especially with the huge guaranteed money coming his way. I mean, kind of like we're all saying, he's arguably, the best wide receiver in the league. He's definitely in that top tier category and everything. So well deserving of it. And you knew with Minnesota, to what E was saying too, Minnesota had to capitalize with him because he's the face of the franchise. They knew they couldn't he was going to get this. He was going to get offers like this probably in other places. Minnesota knew, though, they had to give him exactly what he wanted to keep this guy in-house and everything. I mean, you have to if you're that franchise. Who else do you got? You just got a young new quarterback and a backcourt coming in. and everything. So huge shout out to Justin Jefferson. I mean, that's just some big time money for a big time player. Getting back to what you were kind of getting into with the league, though, it's crazy to see. And, we're all sports fans. We love ball. We love all sports. This is what shows you how much NFL is just king of everything. I mean, it's really who's got the best bid, who's spend most money to get that over on their side. And we talk about the Amazons of the world, the Peacocks of the world. I mean, now the NFL, we're all going to streaming now, which is crazy. Now it's getting to where you have to start paying subscriptions.
It's sad.
Just to watch NFL, which used to be free for, the common folk, us and everything. Now you have to start paying to watch the NFL. That's just exactly how high up the NFL is compared to everything else. Just more viewership each and every year, and it's going out to the highest bidder now, which is really crazy. I mean, it's crazy to see kind of where it's going and everything. I'm adapting the whole streaming thing myself and everything, because now and it's not just on the crazier part is it's not just one platform. Some games are on one platform, and you get other games on another platform. Now you have to go to, which is it's a lot, but it goes to show how powerful the NFL and the league is. But not so. I mean, we're gonna see. And the crazier part too, guys, is this was, we talk about this past draft. Obviously, this draft had some of the high. What did we get? 5 top first round quarterbacks out of this draft class. Everything, which is gonna bring even more to the league and everything coming into it, because it was one of the best, quarterback so draft classes we get to see now. So now that just brings more people in to watch and everything. More, Sach, I was saying how, this last draft class with how many quarterbacks we got out of it. It's one of the, quote unquote, better draft classes coming in now, which is going to bring more viewership now, because now you want to see how the young guys are doing and everything. So the league just keeps expanding and everything. More money is going to be thrown in. More players are going to want more money. And we're going to see what happens. That's the crazy part about the NFL too, though, to what Sach was getting at. I mean, now it's really the highest bidder. It's this player and everything. Some of these players aren't going to be loyal to their teams that first draft them. It's really money talks here in a lot of these situations. So, you kind of got to pick your poison.
And I mean, it's not like Justin Jefferson got like other bids from teams, because he's still under contract with the Vikings. So.
Right, but he would have gotten some. They knew.
He would have gotten the same amount of money no matter where he gone. Yeah. It would have been all that stuff. But the sooner you sign any contract, if you're looking down the barrel of $110 million guaranteed and like $80 million at signing bonus, and you got a month before any other team can offer you anything, you're going to sign that contract no matter what, because at the end of the day, anything can happen. You can get a car accident. You could tear your ACL. You can do any of this stuff. But that's why you see a lot of these teams, they sign their player right away because they're eligible for that extension. So Justin Jefferson, he would have gotten anything. But the Vikings are always – the team that you're with is always the first bid, because you're offered to extend them whatever you want. So good on Jettas. And, I mean, like you said, with the streaming services nowadays – and all of this money that's being poured in, the money's just going to keep getting insane. So it's pretty wild. And the NFL is the only sport that owns a day of the week. Like I've been saying, they're the only sport where you classify Sunday as NFL Sunday. No other sport has a day of the week where you can be like, oh, it's NBA Monday, soccer, it's NFL Sunday, and it'll always be NFL Sunday.
Always. That will never. And I'm glad.
To the end of time, it will be NFL Sunday.
I'm glad you brought that up, Sach, because what did they also do to compete with the NBA? NBA for a little bit of time, Christmas Day was the NBA's day. What did the NFL now do? NFL now said, no, now we're going to also play on Christmas Day. And where are the viewers going? NFL is always king. It will always be king.
Well, no, I don't think NFL will be on Christmas forever. That's just how the day lined up, for that.
Well, it's going. but they got a lot of sponsorship from that, and again, more revenue coming towards that. And I'm pretty sure this year it's going to be the same thing.
I hope they do NFL on Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to watch? You want to watch it all the time, and everything.
That would be sick.
Cool stuff, fellas. Cool. Let's take a quick intermission. Guys, this is the BCS show after hours. You got the fellas in here. No Whit tonight, though, but don't worry. We got the signal out for him. We got to give him a little bit of a break tonight. The man's moving. You can't ask for much. Now, you still got the best team in all of sports here. You got Sach. You got Big E. Guys, these are some of the top sports analysts in the world. Don't you ever miss out on this. I kind of wanted to quickly just before we get to the last conversation, just go around the room real quick. Anything that came up with you in this past week or anything sports related that you've kind of thought of or anything that you want to throw out there and everything, we get the ball rolling out. We can hop to our next conversation.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick because it something that happened today impacted my man Sach, but probably the greatest offensive lineman ever passed away today.
Oh my God,
Larry Allen from the Dallas Cowboys. Big news. I mean, that guy. Who knows? They've been playing forever. There may have been a better one, but this guy was a beast. And you're watching some of the video highlights and some of the stuff he does, and bench pressing 225 43 times. I mean, the guy was a beast. Had Emmitt Smith in tears today. Just a great guy. Team to that point, a team guy. Go ahead and knock Troy down. Go ahead, but you knew Big Larry was going to take your head off, and he'll take the 15
exactly
yards
right.
with it.
An enforcer, and he's going to fucking knock your bell loose.
Yeah. 53 years old, relatively young man, but I put out because there may be two others out there. Top 3 best offensive linemen passed away today, so that's where I would go with.
Yeah, RIP for sure. And that kind of like Sach was saying today, 52 years old. So that still really young.
Fun fact: Larry Allen was one of the first infant jerseys that I had in my lifetime. I think he was the second or third. I have a Larry Allen jersey that's about this big in somewhere, but I have pictures with the Larry Allen jersey. That goes to show even back then how good he was. My dad, I texted him right away. I was like, damn, they let him go. And he's like, yeah, he was a beast. And, I had a jersey. When you're an infant and you have an offensive lineman's jersey, that goes to show how good that player really was. So it was crazy to see. He's made some of the craziest, the chase down tackle, the infamous chase down tackle that he had when Troy threw an interception, ran all the way down 50 yards, the fastest dude on the field, it looked like at the time, at 350 pounds, whatever it was. So, it was a sad day in Cowboys Nation, but, RIP, it's crazy. Enjoy the people in your life as you have them, because you just never know. So that's what I would take away from that. You never know what the hell. A lot of people are dying young now, man. A lot of people, and you just never know. So that's what I take away from it.
100%. You got anything else you throw out there, Sach, or you want to kick it to me?
No, kick it to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a good one, though. That was a good one. Rest in peace for sure. Legend will be missed. We'll get into the last ball of things tonight, guys, before we put a bow on this episode. Obviously, we got to wait until Thursday to get to first game of the NBA Finals and everything. It's crazy because it's such a long break. We went from having basketball every other day, every other night, and whatnot, to now we got to wait a little. I think it's good, though. It's going to provide a lot of rest for some of these for the 2 teams in it now. Everything's still kind of where are we at? I know you like to kind of wait till we get closer to things to kind of see, maybe even dissect the game itself. Just where are you at? What's your excitement level for this finals? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I can't wait for the game, right? Super excited. I got Mavs plus 6.5. I already gave that out, said that early. But, listen, Sometimes you just got to say you're wrong sometimes. Right now, I just know how the Mavs are going to stop Boston, right? You got 4 players out there, 4 starters that basically play the wing. And then their center, Porzingis, he's the same thing, another 3-point specialist, hangs outside there. So I see Boston spreading Dallas out, right? So Gafford, Lively, yeah, they were good, but they were playing against Rudy. They were playing inside, right? Rudy, I know Cat hangs out at the line, but their bigs were inside. That's not what Boston does. Boston's going to line up at the 3-point line and just, Luka's going to have to play defense. I want to see him play defense. Let's see what he does. I just don't know how they can decide. Again, I'll probably right now I'm with Boston. I said they would not win a title, so I get that. But I'm just looking at, I get the Luka, all the Luka, but he's one man. I'll give Luka 50 points a night. Yeah, where's everything else coming from? Kyrie, it's not a 2-man show, So game 1's going to tell a lot. Let's put it like that. I like to see how this game 1 plays out and what each team does. Now, I get it. After the game, you go back, you kind of move the pieces. But Boston, they're not going to change their piece. They're going to put up 35 threes. They're going to go at you and just let it end where it may. There's not going to be a battle at the rim in this game, not with Boston. So, man, if they could bring the energy and, this last series they had with Indiana months ago, the big topic when it came up, I said Tatum won the dog. That was what started everything with it. I just said he's not a dog. He's not that guy that's on the floor. He's not diving for stuff. That's where it went to. But Tatum showed up. He played. These guys are putting together, answering all the questions that they had. And, let's see what happens. Dallas has – I don't know. I don't know what Jason Kidd's going to do to come up with this, but we'll see, right? Go ahead, Sach.
I mean, basically what you said. So when you look at the NBA Finals, Dallas, Celtics, you know what the Celtics are going to do. The Celtics have no scheme of, how differently they would play. They're going to play Celtic basketball through and through. But when it comes to the Mavs, they have so many little pieces off the bench that if they lose game 1, I wouldn't even overreact. I wouldn't overreact. They can put in Hardaway. They can put in Hardy. They can put in Jalen Green. They can kind of flip-flop their game plan to anything in a 1-game span. I wouldn't overreact to this series at all. Boston could blow the doors off of them game 1. Mavs can come back and win game 2. Mavs can win game 1, and the Celtics, they're going to play the same basketball, and they would expect to blow them out. So when I look at that, I'm not really looking at game 1, I'm really looking at how the coaches are going to adjust to each other, but game 2 is really going to be the game where you're going to be like, okay, they've made this adjustment. They're going to make this adjustment, and they're going to go wherever the pieces fall at that. So game 1's going to be I think it's going to be really interesting. Game 1. I like the Mavs plus 6.5 just because the Celtics have been off for a while, and they typically do not play well early on in the series. At least one game out of the 2, they're going to play bad. That's usually how it's been. And even in the Pacers series when they went 4-0, they should have lost. They should have lost one of those 2 games, no matter what. The Pacers just did not execute to what they were really at. And even like you said, Luka scoring 50, he can go ahead and score 50, but where is everything else going to come from? That's what I'm really curious about. PJ Washington and the 2 bigs are going to be the deciding factor of this series. Can Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, can they make Porzingis a liability on the defensive end? Somewhat. That's all you really hope, because Luka Doncic, nobody's going to guard him. Nobody's going to be able to stop him. But the other guys, are they going to make big shots? Is PJ Washington going to make 4 threes a game? Is he going to make 1 3 a game? That's the main factor that I'm going to be looking at. So it's going to be interesting. I still have the Celtics in 6, so I I mean, I'm just ready to watch the game. It's been so long. It feels like since we watched the NBA game, I'm just ready for it.
Yeah, let's go.
Here, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think, and I kind of said this in a past episode. Definitely, I don't think the finals that people thought it was going to be, but it's definitely one that we're excited to watch because it's a great matchup, good storylines here and everything. So I'm excited to watch this one too, and just be a fan of it and get to see what happens. When I look at the NFL Super Bowl, you have one chance to win a game. One chance. I look at that kind of like war. You have to execute a plan. There's no respawn at all. You have to go out and win. You can't afford to die. You can't afford to lose or anything like that. When it comes to the NBA, though, you get chances to come back and execute a better plan. It's like the game of chess. You make one move. That's the first game. You get to decide what you want to do with your next couple moves. Those are the next games to follow. So this is really a game of chess here, ladies and gents. You got to figure out what you're going to do and the longevity of this final series and how you're going to execute it. And that's the beauty of basketball when it comes to the playoffs and the finals in general. You have to execute that longevity for that run with those games and everything. So, and I'm interested to see this from the coaching standpoint. You got a new coach in Joe Mazzulla and everything. This is pretty much a first for him. And you got Jason Kidd, who's been around the league for a very long time. And he's also, he's been with the Mavs, done a great job, and had a long-term kind of head coach position and everything with some of the past teams he's been with. So we're going to see. I want to see how the coaching is here. A lot of these games, a lot of these deep, big season games, you see coaches just get out coached and everything. So I kind of want to see who's going to be, the chess master here with everything to be played. It's going to be an all-out brawl, guys. It really is. I love it. I love the matchups. Luka, Kyrie, you got JT, Jaylen Brown. You got Derek White there on the Celtics, the Colorado kid himself, the unsung hero of the Boston Celtics and everything. So it's going to be an absolute show. And it's going to be an absolute show. The key here to kind of what Sach said as well, we know the stars are going to come out, but who are going to be the heroes coming off the bench and those role players that are truly going to make a difference? If you could find everyone that's going to fight for you on your team, that's not our player, that's the team that ends up, doing the best and comes out to win these things. So not really I want Mavs to win. I want the Mavs to win, but I'm not really certain on who I really think is going to win. But I'll let you guys know my analysis out of game one, kind of like with E and everything. But absolutely love what E said with the plus 6.5 for the Mavs game one. I mean, I just think this ship's going to be tight. I wouldn't be giving these. That's a big line there for the first game and everything. But I mean, we got this. This is what sports is all about, ladies and gents. We got an absolute battle. Get your popcorn ready. Pack a lunch Thursday, baby, because we got an absolute showing gladiator matchup. It's going to be great. I love it. Cool stuff. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys being here. We're trying to be more consistent with you guys as possible. We know your time is valuable, but we love chopping up the sports with you and everything. You guys can always send us a DM on whatever platform you're comfortable with. We're always going to respond to you guys. Don't have a question you want to fire out on the live show, shoot it in the private chat on our DMs and everything. We'll get back to you guys. We'll respond always and everything. You guys always shoot out comments, questions, anything you want on the live show, and we'll give you a shout out. We want to appreciate you guys and make sure you are recognized. But some big stuff tonight, guys. Go ahead.
Also, shout out to the UFC Insider. He went undefeated.
There you go.
The UFC Insider. He texted me right away once Islam got that fucking submission. He was like, undefeated tonight, and I was like, okay, like, it's good to have someone. It's good to have someone like that. He went the parlay that he had with 3 dudes. I think it cashed, and then he had what did he have? He had Islam by submission.
No, he had Strickland by decision,
and then he had Strickland by decision at plus money. So, I mean, maybe we found a UFC guy. He told me that from the jump that he loves UFC. So it'll be I'm gonna try to get him on the show. He said he wants to be on it. So I'm gonna try to get him for the next big UFC card. So
Love
it'll
it.
be interesting. We can have a little different dynamic to the show.
A-
Cool
absolutely.
dude too. Zeech, you met him,
Love
right?
Yeah, love it. Man likes to throw
He's a cool
around
dude.
some money. Man likes to throw around some coin, baby.
Man throws around
Man's
money
wild card.
kind of a little too crazy. The man throws around fucking money a little too wild, but
Absolutely.
no, he's a cool dude. I'm gonna try to get him on next time.
But again, shout out to all the live audience, guys. We appreciate you guys so much for just being here. We got 22 live listeners tonight. You guys are awesome. Always welcome to be a part of the show. We love having you guys here and chopping it up. Not knowing what Sach is doing with his connection tonight. He's on the McDonald's Wi-Fi tonight or something. I don't know. But we'll quickly
My
put a
mouse
bow
is
on
fucking terrible. My mouse keeps fucking doing that. I don't know why I can't.
the people were saying the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
No, it's my mouse is fucking retarded.
Somebody said you're on that Walmart cricket plan. What are you doing?
He's on a pay-as-you-go.
Gotta pay the bill
Gotta
around
go
here.
phone.
Bills.
But let's we put a bow on this thing. Let's just do our quick around the room. Any last thoughts for the night, fellas? Anything you guys got or just want to throw out to the live audience and everything before we wrap this thing up? And of course, we'll start with Sach.
No, I mean, like you said, like a lot of big things are happening in sports, like we've been talking about. We got NFL right around the corner. OTAs have started.
OTAs.
We're gonna blink, and next thing we know, it's gonna be the NFL preseason. So that'll be good to have. And in the meantime, once this NBA Finals is over, we got the WNBA season to really focus on, and that'll be fun. We got MLB still. MLB's in like a really stagnant area right now, but it'll be nice. And then I think NFL is our cream of the crop as a group. I think NFL is our cream of the crop. I think went on like a fucking 10-0 run last year with whale plays. So I'm really looking forward to E's play of the week once we start that little parlay up. But no, it's going to be good. I'm trying to enjoy the rest of the NBA season. I think the finals, we're in for a good one no matter what. I mean, we got Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. We got 4 stars going head to head, so that'll be fun. So I'm just looking forward to it all, and it was good to chop it up a little bit.
Yep, heard, understood. That's the best. Can't top that. So hope everybody has a good night. You know, again, wall to wall, treetop tall. You guys stacking that money. So let's. What do you guys want to look at? Maybe Friday. I was gonna
say I think we should alternate with the finals thing. We shouldn't have the normal show on the finals night. So whenever it is, we'll just have to adjust the show. Either Wednesday or Friday, obviously, whatever one works for you guys and everything. But yeah, definitely don't want the show going while the finals are going, since we just.
All right, I'll let you guys chop that out. Let me know.
Yeah,
good deal. Thanks for everybody for listening. Have a good night.
100%, guys. This is the BCS After Hour Show. We always love and appreciate you guys being here. Stay fresh, stay frosty, and we're going to catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.